for dinner with Nanny Bubby. I'm Nanny Bubby and this is my home kitchen, and welcome to all of you. Well, today we are making something just kind of like a little twist on a summer appetizer, believe it or not. Hey Frankie, well you're here very nice and early. Boom, right there, Frank is back. So we had a summer appetizer. Hey Teresa. We had a summer appetizer with Rosemary Skewers, Fontina cheese, and grapes. And it just was refreshing. Hey there, Lynn Sansoni, nice to see you. Boy, everybody's finding us again on a Monday and tuning in. And that appetizer was just fantastic. And so I really thought about making chicken skewers on rosemary kabobs, and so I thought we'd just kind of give it a try today, make it sort of a real Italian chicken on the rosemary skewers. So before we get started, there's just a couple things that are a little bit new in Nanny Bubby's kitchen. One of these brought to us by Roseanne. So I saw this, Roseanne posted it in Gavin with Nanny Bubby. This is an herb keeper. And I've seen a few other herb keepers previously, but they were so tall, they didn't even fit on my first shelf. And in fact, hi there, Sunny, nice to see you. They fit in the door of my refrigerator, which was great, except that I don't think that we're used to looking at our door as frequently as inside, and I would put these fresh herbs into the herb keeper on the door and then completely forget that they were there. So this is really terrific because it's small enough to fit exactly where you need it to fit on that front top shelf. You don't forget about it. I'll open this top, wait, this way right here. And you can see there's a little bit of water at the bottom of this. Let's see if you can see. If I put that there, there's a water line. Can you see that? There you go, I'll tilt it a little bit. Yeah, there we go. There's just a little bit of water to keep them fresh. And in here, right here is the rosemary, right here is the fresh thyme and the parsley. And all of this just got cut out of Nanny Bubby's garden just about an hour before you got here. So it's really great because sometimes I don't cut my herbs back as fast as I should. Weather gets cold or wet or rainy, and I don't want to go out there. The wind is here, and I hold back from going. This way I can keep cutting the bushes, keep cutting the herbs. I might even need 2 of these to keep everything rotating through the refrigerator, everything cut, because the more you cut it back, the better it grows, the faster it is, the healthier it is for the plant. So today we are going to pull out these beautiful rosemary twigs, and we are going to skin them of their rosemary leaves in just a few minutes and pierce them through cube white breast of chicken. But before we do, we're going to just do a few housekeeping items, which is there's a few things that we need to cut and make sure are in and ready to go for our marinade, as well as also the skewers themselves. So let's start first with the garlic. Now I've lined my wooden cutting board here with, I'm all about Melissa's this month, as you know. So this is my Melissa's, I'll just show you this, my Melissa's plastic covers. I'm gonna put these right on the board. That way if I cut pineapple or if I cut anything else on this board, it's not gonna taste like garlic. But I love the board, I love the height of the board, I love the resistance that the board gives, and the plastic protects the board from getting the flavor of the garlic. So let's start with the garlic. So what did anybody do exciting this weekend? I was in Laguna. It was absolutely beautiful. It was 74 degrees and sunny. The nights were about 58, 59, which were not too bad. They had high 80-mile-an-hour Santa Ana winds. But those winds happen past the ocean, right over the hills, so you never even know that that exists. So it was just a beautiful, beautiful weekend down there. Gave us a chance to get away. We ate, drank, and we were being very merry. And it was absolutely beautiful. Forgot all the clothes I needed. Hey, Chef Frank. Well, do you know each other, Sunny and Frank? Do you two know each other? I love that when that happens. Tell me the story here. It was so gorgeous in Southern California. We went boating for the weekend. Oh my God. Hey, Cynthia. I will tell you, if we were there longer than 45 hours, I would have given you a call and come and gone boating with you, but we were there for like a bat of an eye. But I bet it would, and you know, for all the high winds, that, let's see, something like that, haha, okay. Well, haha back. For as high as those Santa Ana winds were in Southern California, I am shocked that there were not whitecaps out in the ocean, but it wasn't. The ocean was like glass. It was absolutely beautiful. So I'm not sure where those winds come from. They don't come off the ocean. Maybe they come over the north, you know, north of Laguna area. But I think Cynthia, you're in Santa Monica, and so if it was beautiful up there, I guess it was beautiful all over, right? So I don't know. I don't know what the weather is like in that area, honestly. So, but I will tell you what I did do. I was able to go shopping at the Temecula Olive Oil Company in Laguna, and I am so out of olive oil that I ended up buying 12 bottles because I got one free if I bought 2 more. So, you know, I spent $220 to save 20. Unbelievable, crazy. I mean, who does that? But anyway, I also got some grape vinegars, but they didn't have any of the citrus. Now that's a lot of garlic right there. Can you see that? Can you see how much garlic that is? It's about 2 tablespoons of garlic, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this in the bowl here. Put that all in. Now the great thing is when I put the chicken on this plastic, I won't mind that the chicken tastes like garlic. It won't be any big deal. So we're gonna move this off. I'm gonna put into this bowl, I'm gonna add some delicious lemon. There we go. Olive oil, about a tablespoon. So 1, 2, there we go. I'm gonna add some fresh rosemary. Look at this, fresh rosemary olive oil, which in case it doesn't get enough of that rosemary taste from the skewer, so about a tablespoon of that. And some fresh basil, because I really want it to have a Mediterranean herb taste to it. So let's throw in about a tablespoon. So we've got equal tablespoons. We want to put in some kosher salt and pepper, which I forgot to pull, so give me a minute. Hold on. There we go. Okay, right here. So we're going to put in some salt. There we go. About a teaspoon and a half a teaspoon of pepper. Almost time for me to grind some more pepper. There we go. I'm going to put in some Mediterranean herbs, which this is oregano, rosemary, and thyme. So we've certainly got our touch of rosemary here. These are dried herbs, but remember to get all the oils out of this. You want to take it and just rub it. Get all those oils that are in there activated. There we go. And I'll tell you one other thing that I really would like to put in here that I think will add to the flavor as we put it over the chicken and the other fresh vegetables we're putting on the skewers is a little bit of red chili pepper. So hold on, let me grab that. There we go. Okay. Sometimes I think of everything and sometimes I don't. There we go. We're going to grab ourselves a whisk and whisk this up. And I can tell you right now, I do not have enough olive oil in this. So we're gonna, let's see, what should I do? How about some more lemon? I think that will make it very Sicilian, right? A little more lemon. So I was really disappointed to learn that Temecula olive oil was out of, I'm gonna do the basil now because I think we're gonna have enough rosemary flavor. They were out of blood orange, they were out of lemon, they were out of the fresh lime. The citrus just hasn't come into season yet, but it will probably in the midst of making it right now because citrus is all back in style. It's coming into season right now, so we should have those pretty soon. So let's take now this plastic from Melissa's. You can see, we'll dust it off just very quickly. put our marinade over here and we will prepare it in just a minute to start cutting the chicken on, clearing the path here. Okay, so the first thing that we're gonna do is we are going to take, I've got, let's see how many, I think I have 8 of these. So let's see, 1, aren't these beautiful? Delish. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So the thing about normally what you would do with these is if you bought them in the grocery store, you would soak them so that they didn't catch fire when you put them on the grill. But because I just cut these fresh and they have been in the herb keeper in the refrigerator, they are nice and moist. And so I don't have to soak them. But if you were doing this yourself from home, I highly recommend that you soak them for about 30 minutes before you skewer them. And Frank says, I hope Melissa's can handle my tomato demand in September. I think they can handle anything, Frank, so that's good to know. They'll love the business, believe you me. So this is what I have. I have this, hold on. Everything's falling off. Okay, so I have this beautiful sponge cloth. I get these from Whole Foods. I wet this with cold water. And the way that I'm gonna clean all the lovely dirt off these tomatoes is just with this wet sponge. So there's 1, and I think we're gonna do about 16 of these. Yeah, love the skewer stick idea. So you can look up on Nanny Bubby on Instagram or here on Facebook through the videos and just slide down. This recipe was brought to us as an idea by Roseanne, and I did it on Channel 8 as well. So you can see here how the dirt is coming off onto the wet sponge. But I like this better than a hard sponge because you can literally, it's so flexible, you can use it to just wipe everything off that might just be a little dirt. There's 4, we need about 4 more. And so that's really great. Sunny says she loves garlic. Frank says we kind of know each other, so that's good. Who else is here today? I know Teresa's here. Anybody else joining us today? Okay, so right about here now, even just to do 2 more of these, this has really gotten dirty. So I would just be wiping some of this dirt back onto other mushrooms. So I'm gonna quickly give it a rinse and rinse that off. Wring it out, which is great about this sponge cloth. You can just wring it right out and grab 2 more of these fabulous, beautiful, these are crimini or baby bella mushrooms. Some people call them crimini, some people call them baby bella. Regardless what you call them, they're the same mushroom. They're the darker mushroom. They're just beautiful. Okay, now I leave the stems in these because I'm going to be skewering them, okay? So there's that. All right, now let's get to the peppers. So Sunny, since you're just joining us brand new, let me tell you, I'm going to teach you, if you don't already know how to cut a pepper, in 1, 2, 3, 4, done and out. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, almost 4. 4, just cutting right around those ribs, leaving the ribs intact. See there? Cutting off the bottom, which makes a great skewered pepper, and into the compost basket, okay? We've got a yellow one, same thing, 1 right between the ribs, leaving all those ribs intact. You don't want that bitter white meat on the inside. See there? Isn't that great? 1, 2, 3, done. And these have already been nicely cleaned with food grade hydrogen peroxide that I use. So there's 1. Frank, how are you feeling? Are you doing better? I hope you're doing better. I'm sure Sunny knows that you weren't doing well, so I hope you're doing better. There we go. And these peppers are cut. Now we're just going to cube them to fit onto the skewer. 1, 2. There we go. There we go. Here we go. Okay. I might have cut those a little too thin, just to go onto those skewers. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take the rosemary leaves right off the stems. Some of these are perfect and some of them are not so perfect to go onto the skewers. So there we go. And there we go. And so we're gonna have the beautiful red, orange, and yellow skewers. Orange also are beautiful with the green rosemary. The chicken is going to be marinated. It's just going to be, I'm so excited about this. This was just kind of a Nanny Bubby made up in my head recipe today as a takeoff from the one that Roseanne brought us with the grapes, the fontina cheese. Okay, one more cut. There we go. Okay. So, now, one of the other things that we brought, or that I brought, I don't know who we are that brought it, I definitely am the one that brought it, are these wonderful cherry, these are organic tomatoes, they're beautiful, they're the sweet, I think they're called sweet something, I don't remember what they are, and the skewer is just going to go straight through that. So here I've got my mushrooms, I've got the peppers, and now what we're going to do is we're going to leave about an inch or so of the rosemary, and I'm going to just skim right off those rosemary leaves. There we go. Look at that. And they just come off so easy. Of course, I'm probably going to want to chop some of these, right? And put them right into, look at that. Just, and they're just skinning off so beautifully. Just so beautiful. Whoop. Well, and this time of year, if you don't want to barbecue them, or if your barbecue is wrapped for the winter, I know back east, they wrap it and shrink wrap to protect it from the really bad inclement weather back there, and north in Michigan, etc. You can literally just put these on a high heat oven, 425 degrees, I would say, and there's one for just a little bit of garnish. Let's just pull these little ones off. Yeah, there we go. Put them just on the platter that I'm going to be using, and just take the rest of this and pull it. Whoop. That came off the wrong side. Pull it right off. There we go. So I've got a lot of this rosemary here, but we're not going to use all of it. We're just going to chop some of it, throw it right into the marinade. We're going to cut our chicken and we're going to get cooking. No pun intended, okay? All right, here, so let's just take some of this. And you know, I have found that if you let the rosemary leaves dry, they're not as easy to cut. So I always try to cut my rosemary leaves while they're green, fresh off the stem. They're easier to cut through. And then if you want to have dried rosemary, just let the ones that you have cut dry, but you need to mince them before you dry them. That is one of Nanny Bubby's life lessons. How do you like that? Of all the things I've learned in the kitchen, that is a big one, because I tried to dry, I mean, I must have gotten a gallon of rosemary leaves and I let them dry before I attempted to mince them. And do let me tell you, it was impossible. Absolutely impossible. I had to throw them all out. So there we go. Minced rosemary, that's about all we need. That's about a tablespoon, and well, maybe a little more than a tablespoon. We're going to take this fresh rosemary and just put it right. Oh, we're just going to sprinkle. Where did it go? Going to sprinkle some in this, and then we're going to reserve some. There we go. We're going to reserve the other tablespoon as a garnish to sprinkle when we get it out of the oven or off the barbecue, okay? All righty. Hey, Patty Keneally, nice to see you. Susan Foreman. Yes, I can say your name, but I didn't see you before, Susie, so you have to be patient with Nanny Bubby because I have my eyes down. I don't always see everybody, and sometimes even when you write to me, I don't see it either, just because Facebook is so temperamental. They don't put stuff out. So anyway, so you have to be patient, okay? All right, so now, okay, Susie says you can tell she gets mad at me. She gets mad at me really fast. fast if I don't say hello right away. But you've got to be patient with me. Okay, also you have to know I have my head down, so sometimes I miss all of you or whomever's here. Okay, and Teresa says, can you please tell us again where to find the videos? Sure. Okay, so if you go onto the Nanny Bubby website where you're watching me now, up at the top tab it says about, there's the home page, and then it says videos. I don't know if there's a search bar actually on Nanny Bubby, but where I do know that there is a search bar is in Gather. So if you flip over to Gather with Nanny Bubby, and if you're not already a member, just ask to become a member, fill out the questions, and you can be on there. And there's definitely a search bar on Gather with Nanny Bubby. And if you just type in Rosemary Skewers, they will all pop up. Also, if you remember, Roseanne organized all of the recipes in a PDF format, and all you have to do is search in there, and you'll see the beautiful recipe, because over the summer we had the time to be able to put the recipes in a beautiful format, because I had an intern, but my intern went off to school, and I just don't have the time to do that when I'm, doing this. I can only do what I can do, but I am desperately trying to find help, I can tell you that. Okay, so does that help you, Teresa? Tell me if that helps you. So let me turn. I think you know about the recipes that Roseanne has put up there. So let me put this over here. Okay, putting the platter, then put all of this on over to the right here, to the left. Let me turn you just a little bit. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is stuck. Hold on. Nope, I can't get it there. All right. There we go. Okay. I have to make space, but I believe I'm going to find a camera that is wider. I'm actually looking for a camera right now that would be wider and better to work with. So anyway, I'm working on all this, you guys. Stand by. Okay, Teresa, and tell me if that answers all your questions. And hey, Lisa, nice to see you. Okay, so I'm wearing gloves because I'm working with raw poultry, and that always concerns me, as well, you know. And I'm just going to show you just a little bit about what I'm going to do here. I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to cut. I'm using the Melissa's plastic cutting boards. They call them cutting boards. I call them cutting sheets. But the great thing is I can throw this right into the dishwasher. I never have to worry about it touching the wood, which can be dangerous because all that bacteria gets into the porous wood. Or if I feel like I've really drenched it in a lot of, poultry, blood, etc., I can just throw it away and just get another one, use another one next time. So I'm cubing this. As you can see, this is one breast, and I'll cut one more time. There we go. Okay, so for those of you who are just joining us, we are making rosemary skewers, very similar to the rosemary skewers. Hey there, Maria, nice to see you. Maria just left here, so cute. Okay, we are making rosemary skewers, chicken kebabs, very similar to the rosemary fontina cheese and grape appetizers that Roseanne taught us in the summer. She did a great posting of that in the summer in Gather with Nanny Bubby. And so we're going to start with a mushroom cap. And I think I'm going to go this way with the mushroom cap. I've left the stem, look at that, and just threaded absolutely beautifally. And then I'm going to take an orange pepper. Let's do that. There we go. This makes me so happy. And well, let's go ahead and put a piece of beautiful chicken on here. There we go. Okay, and a tomato. Look at that. Got that? Okay, we've got a tomato. There we go. Let's go ahead and put another piece of chicken, another chicken cube on here. Okay, and how about Another pepper right through there. What am I missing? Anything? And let's finish it with a mushroom cap, which I just lost one on the floor there. Okay, look at that. How's that? Is that beautiful? Look at that. Oh my gosh, so gorgeous, right? Look at that. So, and what I'm gonna do is just place this right here on this beautiful platter, and we'll just keep going and chatting, and then when I'm done, I'll show you how they look. We put together this fabulous marinade right over here with garlic, fresh rosemary, Italian herbs right out of Nanny Bubby's garden. We're using olive oil that is rosemary olive oil, basil olive oil, and lemon olive oil to give it a little bit of that Sicilian flavor, along with red chili flakes to give it a little heat. I have to find that mushroom. There we go. Let me just rinse this off a little bit. I'm not supposed to rinse mushrooms, but I just did. Okay, so there we go. Okay, let's start again. Ready? So what do you guys think so far? Hey, Lucy, you're back. You're back, Lucy. How are you? So good to see you. I don't know if you saw that Frank was sending you a direct message about your charcuterie boards. So anyway, definitely if you haven't reached out to Frank, he sent you a direct message in the VIP group. So just FYI. Okay. How do I stay so slim? I don't know. Some days I don't feel slim at all, to be honest, but that's a head trip that only I put myself on. So what can I tell you? Okay, here we go. Yellow pepper, and I'm trying to follow the other one. Maybe I'll just put one little red pepper here. Yes, we spoke. Thank you. Good. Okay, so just as long as she knew. One of these beautiful red tomatoes. So gorgeous, right? And another piece of chicken. There we go. And we'll seal it up with a mushroom cap. And there it is. How's that? Isn't that beautiful? So gorgeous. Okay. Now we've got 2 on here. There we go. All right. My hair, I'm so sorry, is itching my nose. I apologize. Okay. Something is, I'm so sorry. Okay. I stuck out of, you snuck out of quarantine shortly after for a fig Newton. Oh my goodness. Well, don't tell anybody. Okay, we won't tell anybody, Frank. Alrighty. And I guess I needed 16 mushrooms. I only did 8, so we'll just have to go back and do that. So I think everybody should talk about, we've got so many people here today. What did you guys do all weekend? Just let's talk amongst yourselves, chat amongst yourselves. Tell me what you were able to do this weekend. What did you have fun doing? Cynthia went boating. Who else? Who else did something fabulous? And who didn't do anything fabulous and just really relaxed and enjoyed and got caught up? Honestly, sometimes that's the best weekend too, isn't it? Just getting caught up and just, you know, relaxing, reading. I read a lot. I laid on the couch in Laguna and did a lot of reading. When I had COVID, I got involved in a John Grisham novel, which I loved, and there was a follow-up to it. In fact, I read book 2 before I read book 1, so I needed to go back and read book 1 of the series, and so I had a great weekend. I love waking up in the middle of the night, not being able to sleep, and then going, you know, reading until I fall asleep again. So there's number 3. How's that? Okay. Well, I definitely need more mushrooms, so we'll get back to that in a minute. I don't know how I miscounted, but sometimes my math skills don't work as well as I thought. Finally went back to a bar class, and I'm still sore. Well, that's a good sign, actually. when you get sore like that, because it actually means that you were moving things around that hadn't moved around in a while. So good for you, Lisa. Back to bar. I know that must have just felt fantastic. And Frank said, stayed home and washed clothes. The Rams won last night. Yes, oh my gosh. I could not believe those games. Those were crazy games. And what about the night before, Green Bay? I cannot believe that Green Bay lost that game. So ever since we got our Raider tickets, it's my first season ever watching football and ever understanding football. And I could not believe, seriously could not believe how they got the ball. Who were they playing? I can't even remember. I don't remember who they were playing. I think they were playing the Rams, right? Green Bay was playing the Rams. That's what it was. Somebody tell me that. Let's see. You howled at the moon. Wooden horse races at the community center. Playing card bingo, chair yoga, and happy hour. And great. I can't read the rest of it, but. And the 49ers, yes, the 49ers were good. Oh my God, Lucy, you are keeping yourself very, very busy over there, aren't you? Okay, last mushroom. Here we go. I love that everybody had a good weekend. Okay. And here in Vegas, it was windy, I guess, on Saturday, but starting yesterday, it has just been beautiful. Like I was outside without much on. Okay, there we go. These are 4 now. Shall I show them to you? Look at that. Isn't that amazing? You know, it just makes it fun, right? Hi, Donna. Nice to see you. Okay, so let's take a couple of these tenders. Let's see. Donna Faye Samudio is watching. Okay, Donna Faye. Nice to see you. There's 1, and there's 2. Okay. Okay. Let's take this little skewer. I need some more mushrooms, so let's clean. I think I need to clean 8 more, so let's do that. I went to Whole Foods and channeled me. Oh my God, that was hilarious. And what did you make, Lisa? What did you make? I went to Whole Foods today to buy papaya, and sometimes I get really frustrated because if you want papaya, or if you need to eat papaya, which sometimes I really feel like I need to eat papaya because sometimes my stomach will say to me, Marla, you need to eat papaya. And I've been reading the medical medium, which I find to be a very interesting human. And so I was reading all about papaya and its benefits, which made me want to eat it. But I got there, and I was all excited because I was going to come home and eat papaya, and their papayas were not ripe. And I suppose if they were ripe, they wouldn't last very long, and then we would bring them home after we buy them and say, oh, they never last when you buy them at Whole Foods. So it's 6 of one and half a dozen of the other. Hey, Mark Goldberg, nice to see you. Hope you're feeling good as well. Okay. So we've got old friends and new friends here, and that always makes me so happy to see so many people coming by, connecting, and so many people have made new friends. With Nanny Bubby as your hostess. Okay, there we go. Now we've got our next 8, and let's grab another chicken breast, and let's cut it. Again, I'm cutting on this plastic cutting sheet. The reason that I do that is I don't ever want to put raw poultry on my cutting board, because that's just food poisoning waiting to happen. So I love this plastic sheet. Get it from Melissa's, as you can see right there. I think it says Melissa's. Can you see that? And that way I can just pop it into the refrigerator, or not the refrigerator. I can pop it right into the dishwasher when I'm done with it. And if I get too much on it and it's too suspect and I really don't want to use it ever again, I'll just throw it out and get another one. So it makes it very easy. I also use it for cutting onions and garlic and spicy things so that when I put something beautiful and delicate on the cutting board, it doesn't taste like garlic or onion or radish, like cutting a pineapple or cutting apples, cutting strawberries. Okay, that way I protect it. All right, go. I have to be very careful of this one because I took off too many leaves up at the top, so it's not holding it as well. Here we go. Are you guys gonna hang in there with me to the end? What a fab idea. Do they sell them online? Yeah, they do. I'm pretty sure they do. They sell them online. And I really had forgotten all about the idea of using them. I had one in my kitchen, but it was really old. And so rather than throwing it out and replacing it, I just like completely forgot about it. And then when Robert used it last week when we were doing our online conversation, I was like, oh my gosh, I need to get one of those again. I completely forgot about it. So there we go. Let me just push this in. So the good news is that this chicken, it looks like I'm gonna need more than 8 of these skewers. And so what's really great about growing in your own garden is that I can just go out and clip 4 more or 8 more or however more that I need skewers. Let me get this. So do not do what I did, which is I cut this way too short, and so I don't have resistance now when I'm trying to thread this. And so that's a little tidbit that you want to know, is just be careful. And maybe, there we go. Okay, so just pull that together, and there we go. And you can see we've got a little bit of garnish here on here as we go. It's starting to look beautiful and come together, isn't it? We'll do, well, let's see how many more we have. We have 3 more to do. You guys, can you guys give me a thumbs up if you want to hang in there? So Lisa, it's a really good idea, but this was a takeoff today. I started thinking about what was I going to make, what was I going to do, what kind of clever idea could I come up with, and I was reminded of Roseanne's grape and fontina cheese rosemary skewer appetizers, and that made me say, well, I could probably do that with chicken. Why don't we give that a try? So that's what we developed here. Is just a little takeoff on something that we've actually really already done. So here we go. Now this I'm going to fold over and go through both sides of it. There we go. Very nice. It's a little long. There we go. Let's get tomato in there. Go. Another grand piece of chicken. And we'll cap that off with another pepper and a rosemary cap. There we go. Okay. There we go. Alrighty. A little short. Oh. There we go. Okay. How's that? Beautiful, right? Okay. It's coming together. It's coming together. So after you guys leave, there we go. Look at, see how this is growing and how beautiful it looks? Yep. Okay. All right, you guys are thumbs up to keep going. I've only got 2 more to go. So I guess we made plenty of time, right guys? So there's the mushroom cap. So I did mention, for those of you who just came, that I leave the caps on because it holds the mushrooms more stable. So let's see, peppers. Here we go. So again, you know, sometimes you wonder why I'm wearing gloves, but when I manage and touch whole poultry, I just get really concerned about it. I always worry about touching things afterwards and cleaning up and all that. I will likely leave the gloves on while I rinse this plastic sheet. Thank you, Lisa. It is very colorful. And and then I'll throw them off and I'll feel safe and all of that. So, okay, let's see. There we, I just broke the stem. But I think we can fake it. I think we can fake it. Here we go, right through. There we go. There we go. I'll just push it up a little bit more. There we go. Okay. They're coming together beautifully, aren't they? So I thought about putting some kind of cheese on it, but I just could not come up with a cheese made that could withstand the heat of the barbecue or a high heat oven. Nothing really made sense to me about that. And so anybody have a thought of some kind of a cheese, or what other like type of maybe protein could you put on here? And by protein, I don't mean another meat, but what other delectable item? I thought about even putting grapes on here because that would give it just a really lovely sweetness. But what are your thoughts, guys? What do you think? What might you, let's see, dust with grated after that. There you go, Lisa. That's a great idea. That is a wonderful idea. I like that. I like that. And just an easy dusting, just a sprinkle. Flavored tofu. Well, there's that, or tempeh, right? Tempeh is always good. Okay. Anything else? Anybody else? Okay. There's the mushroom. This one's going to be a little cockeyed. Let's see. I can get one more piece of chicken on there and then the mushroom cap. All right. There we go. Okay. Hold on. I got it. Let me push this down a little bit. In this case, I wish that I'd removed a little more of the leaves. Okay, there we go. That's it. All good. Okay, there we go. Isn't that great? Okay, everybody, so let me just very quickly move this aside. I'm probably gonna go ahead and continue making this after you guys leave here. But, so let me just set this aside over here. And I just want to show you what I'm going to do next. So, at the beginning of the show, I showed, of course, these beautiful herbs that I got. This was a Rosemary suggestion, and I absolutely, or Roseanne, sorry, Roseanne suggestion. And I loved it, just loved it. It keeps the herbs so nice and fresh. Okay, so in here is the lemon olive oil from Temecula Olive Oil. Let me take these off. I don't want to hold those bottles. Okay. All right, so we have the fresh basil. Now, Temecula Olive Oil does have, oh, pineapple would be good. Yes, it would indeed, Mark. Thank you for that. Temecula Olive Oil does make a Mediterranean herb olive oil, which I purchased when I was down there this weekend. It's on its way. It'll probably be here tomorrow, or maybe even today. But I am mixing some of the oils that I did have. So I used the fresh basil. I used the fresh rosemary, as if we didn't have enough rosemary. I apparently am out of the oregano, which I didn't realize, or I would have ordered it, and the fresh lemon. And that is the olive oil that is in here. In there is garlic, Mediterranean herbs from my garden, fresh rosemary, and red chili flakes. And what we're gonna do is we're just gonna brush. Can you see that? We're just gonna brush this luscious and fabulous garlic herb. And I think I'm actually going to take this and roast it in a roasting pan rather than putting it on the grill, because sometimes you can't control it the way you want to. Oh, and the garlic just smells, oh, I wish you could smell it. I mean, this is like none other. This is amazing. It's got fresh rosemary in it. And I think when I'm done with this, in keeping with, and I really wanted to show you this today, so let me go grab that. Here we go. I'm going to show you a gift that I got from my daughter for the holidays, which I talk about this all the time, but I had no idea that a book had been written as I started to talk about it. And I just really want to share it with you because there are so many amazing ideas. So now I'll tip you over. Hi, Stacy Saide. Nice to see you. Look at that. Look how beautiful that is. So I received this book, Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat, from Harmony, who found it somewhere, I don't know. And you've heard me talk about how a meal and sometimes every dish needs to have a combination of salt, fat, acid, and heat. And you would know when you taste it what it actually needs. And it's very interesting as how it talks about using salt and fat and acid and heat. So to the extent that I always, let's just do this, is I always make grilled asparagus 12 to 15 minutes in a 425 degree oven roasted asparagus, I guess is better to say. I put on there kosher salt. I can sometimes use a little bit of truffle oil at the end and a little bit of French sea salt. But after reading this, I said to myself, you know what? After I toss that with the truffle oil, after I put a little bit of the French sea salt on the asparagus, I am just literally going to squeeze lemon juice on the top of that asparagus. Mwah! I am telling you that it changed everything. It changed everything. That little bit of acid from the lemon, the fat from the truffle oil, the rock sea salt. I guess there really wasn't a balance of heat on that, but you know, it's like if you use any combination of the three, I think that it just warrants, because not every time are you going to have heat with acids. Not sometimes maybe you don't have the acid, but if you're looking for different dishes, it's really key, like side dishes, you don't want to have a really rich, creamy main course and then cream spinach along with it. You would want to go away from the fat and probably salt and move over to acid and heat in your side dishes to give everything balance, or a really, really great salad that has a lot of green and a lot of acid in it, and then here comes your main course with a lot of your fat in it. So anyway, this is a great book. I recommended it to Tanya Murray right after Christmas, and she ordered it immediately. There's wonderful recipes in here, which I actually haven't quite gotten to yet, just because I've been so busy just really immersing myself in the philosophy of salt, fat, acid, heat. And here's the, it's interesting. So she does a whole section on the aromatic flavor bases of the world. So like as an example, France is the mirepoix, and mirepoix is diced onion, diced carrot, and diced celery. That's all it is. You cook it in butter or olive oil until soft without browning. And mirepoix is something that you can stuff into a Cantonese chicken, as a matter of fact. So the Chinese have adopted some of the French techniques, as we all have. In Italy, it's called a sofrito, which is minced onion, minced carrot, minced celery. But it shows you by the pie, if you can see the pie. So this is more, let me see what that is, more diced onion, 1/2 diced onion to 1/4 celery and 1/4 carrot. But in the Italian, it's, well, actually, it's just upside down, but it's exactly the same. Onion is 1/2, celery and carrot is 25%. So I don't know why she made it look like it was different, but it wasn't. But let's see, in India, it's ginger and garlic. Ginger and garlic. is what they use for aromatics. So it's a really, really wonderful, wonderful book. She worked for, oh, why can't I think of her name? I had it at the tip of my tongue just about 2 minutes ago when we started. Chez Panay's. Yeah, I know, shoot. What, let's see, you may have more viewers join tomorrow. I shared this with our little community at Tuscany MHP in Yuma. Awesome. Love more viewers. Thank you, Lucy and Sulaco. Okay. God, what is her name? Who owns Chez Panay's, you guys, in Oakland, California? Yeah, Panay's. Chez, C-H-E-Z, P-A-N-I-S-E, P-A-N-I-S-E. Waters, Alice Waters, with 2 T's in Waters, Alice Waters, who coined the term farm to table, believe it or not. Alice Waters coined the term farm to table. Yeah, you forgot Alice Waters, right? And so this wonderful chef, Samin Nosrat, I think she is East Indian more than anything, and she wrote this book. So those look beautiful. Thank you so much. All right, everybody. Well, I could go on until 8 o'clock at night, which you don't need me to do, nor do you want me to do that. So I will put this book here. And well, thank you as always for joining me on a Monday afternoon. You always make it worth putting it together and being here. It's a great book. You can order it online. If you want, I can go ahead and post it in Gather to make it easy for you. And if you want me to post, I'm pretty sure Roseanne already posted this in Gather, so you don't need me to put my link in there. But I gotta tell you, it's a winner. All right, everybody. On the count of 3, 1, 2, 3. Go out and spread love like butter and cook for the ones you love. Bye, everybody.